I hope you are doing well. This is the September 24, the news in 2025. In their China visit, U.S. lawmakers call lack of military tools dangerous. A delegation of U.S. House lawmakers visited China for the first time since 2019 this week, in what members describe as an effort to push for more communication between the American and Chinese militaries to avert potential conflict. The bipartisan group, composed mostly of members of the House Armed Services Committee and led by the President Adam Smith, a Democrat from Washington, met with China's number 2 officials, Premier Li Qiang. They also met with China's defense minister, its vice premier for economy, police, its foreign minister, and the head of its Rumble-stem legislature. The visit came just days after President Trump and the Chinese leader Xi Jinping spoke on the phone and discussed issues including trade and a possible deal on TikTok. Washington and Beijing have been working to steady ties after tensions over tariffs earlier this year brought relations to one of their lowest points in recent years. Mr. Trump has said on social media that he would likely visit China earlier next year. Still, many areas of disagreement remain, including over China's military presence in the Pacific, which has grown more assertive. Chinese ships have increasingly ventured into waters historically dominated by the United States. The U.S. military has accused Chinese planes of flying dangerously close to American planes, nearly causing collisions. China has countered that American aggression is feeling the risk. China is the most rapidly growing military and the most rapidly growing nuclear power in the world. The U.S. has the biggest military in the world and the biggest nuclear arsenal. Mr. Smith, who is the Armed Services Committee ranking Democratic member, said at a news conference in between meetings on Tuesday, "It's dangerous for us not to have to be having regular communications about our capabilities and intentions. We have seen this with our ships, our planes, their ships, their planes coming entirely too close to one another," he added. He had raised the issue with the premier and Dong Jun, the defense minister. The Chinese Defense Ministry said that Mr. Deng had told the lawmaker that China was willing to build a stable and positive relationship with the American military, but he also emphasized that the lawmakers should help improve communications, according to an official summary. And he said that China would defend its sovereignty and security. Mr. Smith acknowledged that the United States and China remained far apart on high priority issues. for the United States that includes the supply of rare earth metals and the control of entire precursors, neither of which were mentioned in Chinese government summaries of this week's meetings. Mr. Trump has also accused China of reneging on a deal to buy jets from Boeing and the American airplane manufacturers. His recently appointed ambassadors to China, David Perdue, said at the news conference that it was very important to the president that a huge order of Boeing jets be completed. I think we are in the last days or weeks of the negotiation. Mr. Perdue added. The delegation also included Michi Baumgarten, a Republican member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee, as well as Joe Handa and Chelsea Holahan, both Democrats on the House Armed Services Committee. Mr. Perdue, a former U.S. Senator from Georgia, called the representative pioneers in helping to restore dialogue between the two countries, which he said had been severely reduced since the coronavirus pandemic. He said that the delegation was taking a political risk by traveling to China when a hawkish stance towards Beijing has become a bipartisan consensus, even as American lawmakers have largely avoided Beijing. Some have traveled to Taiwan, which China claims as its territory, prompting objections from the Chinese government. There is no an easy thing for them to do. They will take some political hints potentially back home, Mr. Perdue said. He says he hoped many some similar visits would follow. Chinese officials struck in a similarly cautiously optimistic note about the visit. Meeting with the lawmakers on Sunday, Mr. Lee said in introductory remarks that their visit, which he described as an ice-breaking trip, was being closely followed by the Chinese public. The Global Times, a Chinese Communist Party-controlled tabloid, said in an editorial that the trip signaled significant progress in stabilizing bilateral relations, but the editorial also warned that Congress was widely perceived as a bulwark of anti-China sentiment. Mr. Smith said before the visit began that the delegation had requested a meeting with Mr. Xi, but were unsure whether it would happen. The lawmakers did not mention it on Tuesday. They were scheduled to dip China on Thursday. Mr. Xi met Senator Chuck Schumer of New York, the Democratic majority leader at the time, when he led a bipartisan Senate delegation to Beijing in 2023. There was the first, and until now, only congressional delegation to China since before pandemic. Thanks for your listening and wish you have a happy life. Good night.